pretty tense preparations. You were telling me just before we came on air there. Many people, many businesses particularly, still worried about how this overall election might turn out.
We have moved locations, as you mentioned, here to Hollywood in Los Angeles, which is a world-famous location. But these are the same streets where there were many, thousands upon thousands of people who marched with Black Lives Matter for racial equality and justice. And as you see behind me, this is an art gallery that has boarded up. As we have been driving through these streets, as you mentioned as well, it is now midnight here in Los Angeles, California. Many of these businesses, if not dozens, hundreds of them have been proactive boarding up because they fear there could be some type of civil unrest. It's not exactly clear as we're waiting for the election results to come through. But at this point, throughout America, we are now in limbo to see exactly if it was Democrat Joe Biden who takes it all, or if it's the current president, Republican Donald Trump, who will continue with 4 more years. So I can tell you this, as the traffic is going by, as cars are going here on the street, it will be a sleepless night and early morning for a lot of Americans, not only in here in California, where there were 55 electoral college votes that were taken by Joe Biden. However, California is looking at the rest of the nation right now, and I can tell you a lot of those TV sets are on, people still trying to see who could be the clear winner as of right now. But the sense here in California is that they hope there is not civil unrest. But I do have to tell you, there has been a new study that shows thousands of new gun owners here in the state, many of them fearing because of the pandemic and civil unrest, and also just for their own safety. We know that President Donald Trump has said that a lot of states are practicing lawlessness, and according to that new study, 73% of his supporters say they too want to buy guns at this point. But the good news here in America is that there has not been a major outbreak of violence, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens.
Gene, as you were saying there, obviously California staying with the Democrats. Perhaps some of those Democrat voters there in California buoyed by that result we've just had coming into us from Arizona, which is also now Democrat. I mean, as you say, people watching very, very carefully as these results continue to come in, because it's still incredibly close, isn't it?
It is incredibly close, and it was very surprising to a lot of Democrats, especially because Joe Biden has had so much confidence going into this presidential election, saying that he could clearly win. However, that's not the case as we see right now. So it's really neck to neck, and once again, we are in limbo here. But I'm just getting some new information. Some early exit polls suggest that Biden supporters, their number one reason for voting for Democrats was racial inequality here in America and the ongoing pandemic. The Democrats have been really pushing health and safety, making sure that people are trying to stay home. We know that in France, you have a major lockdown going on. Here in America, we still have a lot of COVID-19 cases. Here in California, we are at 900,000 positive cases already. So that's been the big push from Democrats. Now, on the Republican side with the exit polls, their main concern was the economy, just getting back on your feet. Unfortunately, a lot of businesses have been in dismay, boarding up, as you see behind me, not because of just the possible civil unrest, but because of COVID-19 restrictions as well with our global pandemic. And some key races, as you had just mentioned earlier, Joe Biden declared the winner in Arizona. That was a key state. Also, Nevada, 50% have gone to Biden, and 47% as of right now have gone to Trump. Those are some key races. That's according to the U.S. media right now. Also, still looking out for Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin as key battleground states. And we have a lot of election results that we'll be talking about, of course, throughout the show here on France 24. But that's really the biggest news right now. And we're going to keep an eye on this to see, hopefully, there is not an inciting of violence from President Donald Trump. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. But even Trump has also just falsely famously tweeted right after some of those election results went out. He said, quote, "Up big, and Democrats are trying to steal the election." So it looks like the president is going in a certain direction right now. Reporting here in Hollywood and Los Angeles, California, we're going to send it back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, Gene Kang, correspondent.